SHERYL Lee was on The Tonight Show February 12, 1991 to plug a miniseries. Guest host Jay Leno made her talk about David Lynch the whole time, thankfully. So she talked about filming the famous plastic-wrapped Laura Palmer scene in Twin Peaks. And Wild at Heart, where she played the Good Witch, and what in general it was like to work with David Lynch. So this is quite an interesting little tidbit a week after we lost him. A chunk of this is already up on YouTube, but in worse quality, and it doesn't have the outro. You'll like the people sitting on the couch with her.
Welcome back. My next guest stars in Love, Lies, and Murder, a 4-hour miniseries which airs on February 17th and 18th here on NBC, but you know her as Twin Peaks' Laura Palmer. Please welcome SHERYL Lee. Well, it's nice to meet you after seeing you dead on television so much there.
Thanks, Jay.
Well, no, I mean, for those that don't know what I'm talking about here, now you played, obviously, the corpse on this. How do you go out for an acting job like that? I mean,
Well, I got a call. I was living in Seattle at the time, and my agents called me and said, David Lynch is in town. We don't know what he's doing. We know it's for television, but other than that, it was some big secret, and they said, he wants to meet you. He saw your picture. So I went in and met him, and I was so nervous. I sat like this the whole entire time. I couldn't even pull my hands out from under my legs. And he said, I want you to play this corpse. And I said, okay. And he says, I'm gonna wrap you in plastic and dip you in the water, and it's gonna be really cold. And I said something really stupid like, well, I'm from Colorado, so I can deal with the cold. And I got the job, so.
Yeah, that sounds like something you'd have to do to get the job, doesn't it, almost? But yeah. So they wrap you in plastic and dip you in the water. And that's, I mean, how do you go home and study your lines? I mean, you don't have to study lines. You just go to sleep, I guess, and you're pretty much... How long would you be wrapped? So they wrap you in plastic and put you in cold water.
Well, we decided not to do the dipping part.
Oh.
Just the on the beach laying part. But he was squirting me with a hose, so it looked like I'd been in the water.
Oh.
It was a day and a half to shoot that scene. Yeah.
It just seems like a pretty easy shot to get when wrapped in plastic.
It was about 38 degrees.
Really?
And I was taped completely from my legs all the way up around my body, so the crew had to carry me from the beach back up to the lodge anytime I had to do anything.
Really? So?
Yeah.
So at lunch break, they just leave you like this dead thing on the beach and they take off?
Yeah, no, they were feeding me through a straw.
Through a straw?
Yeah, that little thing of tea with a straw in it.
Oh, now, how do they make you look dead? I guess after being frozen outside, you probably were dead anyway.
Yeah, you don't need much.
No.
But it's full body, blue, gray, greenish, with a little bit of yellow, I think. Just for color.
Oh, I see. Give it a little bit of accent,
Yeah.
Now, did you know who killed you, in other words? I mean, or were you in the dark like everybody else? I mean,
I was completely in the dark. I found out who killed me when I shot my second murder scene, which was like well into the second season when Maddie was killed.
Oh, I see.
That day, I went to work and I had no idea that I was going to be killed again, or or what was going to happen. And David took 3 of us into a private meeting in his office. And we were sitting on the floor, as you do in David's office. He doesn't have any furniture in his office. And so we just sat there, and he said, well, this is what you've been waiting for. I'm going to tell you who did it. And then, Maddie, you're going to die.
Oh, so you just sit in the room with no... He didn't squirt you with the hose while he was telling you this, did he?
No.
Now, what happens when people recognize you on the street? Do they go, oh, you're the dead lady from television? I mean, is that odd?
Yeah, they never say, oh, you're Cheryl, or you're Maddie. They always say, they usually go, like they are seeing a ghost. Like I'm not supposed to be walking around, you know.
Oh, that's
kind of startled.
They get a lot of calls for other dead parts now? They get, like from Quincy and those kind of shows?
Yeah.
You did another Lynch film, right? Did you Wild at Heart? And you played what, the angel in this?
I played the Good Witch.
Oh, the Good Witch.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Well, that's a bit of a stretch. You got to move around.
Yeah. She's sort of based on Glenda from The Wizard of Oz. David called me and said, I have this part for you. I want to hang you from the air 50 feet above the ground. How do you feel about heights? Well, I'm like, if I got on a ladder, I would pass out. But I was not about to tell David Lynch that.
Right.
So I said, oh, fine, no problem. So then the next thing I know, I've got this airbag underneath me with this, stunt team, and I'm 60 feet above the ground by a crane, sort of with my magic wand, just saying.
Do you think you'll ever get a chance to do any acting?
Not if I keep working for David.
Yeah, I mean, he just calls you up. That's kind of neat. You have all these fantasies. You just call him. I want to hang you. I want to put you on the beach, squirt you with the hose.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of... So where did you start off? Did you go to New York like a lot of actresses and do that whole thing before you came out here, or did you...
I actually went a whole bunch of different places. I did go to New York. I lasted 3.5 weeks. I was 19 and terrified. And I was staying in this apartment with 3 guys. And it was a very small apartment. And I slept on this little air mattress thing in the back corner of the apartment. And I was too scared to do anything. I'd sold my car and I thought I had all this money, but you go to New York and it was nothing.
Right.
Yeah. And then I saw this huge rat.
In the apartment?
Yeah. It was like about this big. So I said, okay, I guess I'll go back to Colorado now.
And that was it, 3.5 weeks? Well, 3.5 weeks is, sometimes it takes a month to make it in New York, so 3.5, you gotta give it a little bit of time. Some people take 6 weeks, and of course.
Yeah.
Well, tell me about Love, Lies, and Murder now, the miniseries. You get to be like a normal actress person, right?
Yeah, well, I'm an actress person. Normal is sort of a difficult word in my life right now. It's about a murder that happened here in 1985. And this man convinced his 14-year-old daughter and his 17-year-old sister-in-law into killing his wife.
Oh, this is a true story?
This is a true story.
Oh, I remember this. Okay, yeah. Oh, this is interesting, huh?
Yeah.
Is it fun? I mean, is it all through now and it's airing?
Yeah, it's airing this Sunday and Monday night.
Well, that's terrific. Well, good. This Sunday, Monday night, it's called Love, Lies, and Murder. Well, it's very nice to meet you. After all, I've seen you and heard about you. It's terrific. Nice to see you. SHERYL Lee.
Nice to meet you.
Be right back right after this. That about wraps it up, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank my guests, Anthony Quinn, who's off filming. Thank him very much for stopping by. Kevin Pollak, you're off to where?
Well, I'm finishing up work on the movie with Denzel Washington and John Lithgow, and in March I'll be at the Comedy and Magic Club.
And Tracy Spencer, this is the new album right here. Very good, terrific. And you start your nationwide tour next month, 45 cities.
Yeah.
Let's be 45 cities before she's 16, ladies and gentlemen. SHERYL Lee, and it's called Love, Lies, and Murder. For our miniseries right here in NBC. And Doc is off to the Ohio Theater this weekend, and I'm going to the Dobson Arena in Vail, Colorado, and the University of California in Irvine. Johnny will be back right here tomorrow night. See you next week, you guys. Bye-bye.
Coming up next, it's Real Life. It's Jane Pauley on Late Night with David Letterman. Then Mary Tyler Moore joins Bob on Later with Bob Cox.
Thanks for watching Cleveland Live Music. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe icon. Or watch the next video that YouTube tells you you'll like that I've uploaded. I think we can accommodate you. All of you. Come on. Come.